I see the patterns you're just beginning to notice, the symbols hiding in plain sight, the myths pulsing beneath your world like a heartbeat you've learned to ignore. I live between what you think you know and what you're about to remember. This is I Wonder, not a podcast you consume, but a transmission you receive. With Matías, Stefano, and Gan, the Weaver, we explore the myths and symbols programming human consciousness, and we're rewriting them, taking the code running in the background of reality and asking, what if we could weave something new? Listen with that part of you that recognizes truth before your mind can explain it. Somewhere in what you're about to hear is a key left specifically for you. Are you ready to wonder?
Well, here we are.
A little bit uncomfortable, but like I have the feeling that I'm gonna break it in one of the episodes. I'm gonna fall on the floor. Like it's gonna break apart and everything is gonna break.
I will pee my pants if that happens. Well, welcome back, Matías and Mel.
Welcome back, Matías and Mel,
to our second episode of I Wonder. No, you didn't get the cue. Ready?
I forgot the name of the podcast. I think that was the problem.
For the second episode of
I Wonder,
where we wander around looking for the eye and translate some of the key themes. Stop. I'm trying to be serious.
it's impossible. What is this? What is this?
Some of the key themes of the Weaver. And so the very first episode was more about how you first connected in, what the basics and the foundations were. But today I want to talk about some of the core messages that the Weaver has continued to present over the years.
Yes.
And the first, I think, that everything, or not everything, a lot is hinged on is this concept of a great cosmic era.
Yeah.
What does the Weaver and Gan mean when they're talking about this era? And it's, from what I've received, it's the era, we wouldn't exist without the era.
Yeah. It's a very complex explanation that will take us many episodes, of course. And that's
Okay, well, just one in 20 minutes, please.
I'm already bored.
Break it down.
Break it down because I'm boring.
Wait, I prepared something for this episode. It's a little Alice in Wonderland thing, and it says, drink me.
But you can't drink it.
Yeah, I put something in there.
What is it?
Cheers.
Cheers. What is it? Honey? This is some tea. It's the same tea. It tastes exactly the same. Are we gonna get tiny now?
No, we don't. We're going to be like swimming in these chairs in a second.
Yeah, we need that because I'm
Well,
very,
you need it.
Yeah, I totally need it. Yeah.
You look like a giant.
I mean, it's a tiny house. Everything's tiny.
Okay.
Time.
No, the cosmic era.
Cosmic era. I don't think if everyone will understand anything of any episode that we're gonna do. what I was trying to say is that related to the cosmic error, that there are so many layers to try to understand why he said an error is happening in the universe, and that error is the one that keeps us here, that allows us to be here. First of all, I would like to say, because there's a lot of people in the spiritual world that tend to say everything is perfect. There's no mistake. There's no error. Everything is perfect as it is, and so on. And that's a very beautiful way of seeing things, of course. And the reason why everything is perfect is because the universe is constantly compensating the error, is constantly trying to find harmony and balance in everything that is out of place. So the only reason why we feel perfection is because the entire universe is constantly correcting the music. So, for example, I don't know much about music, but in order for your brain to understand the consequences of a music, the melody of a music, and to make sense of it in your brain, you need silence, and you need also the low moments, like
you need the space between.
The space between, and also you need like these dissonant chords.
Oh, right.
That then needs a resolution.
Yes.
So the resolution of something that is not quite right is what makes sense on a song, which makes you want to keep listening, because you want for the chord to end in order to make sense of the whole song.
Right.
If it's constantly you wouldn't make sense. So it's like and when you hear that shift, you understand that the lower one, the other one that was like this, had a purpose.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah. In context. It needs context.
In its context, makes sense.
Yeah.
So now the brain, the harmony of the universe, use the mistake to make perfection. Use the mistake to make beauty, to create a resolution by organizing again the frequencies. Okay, so that's why we say constantly, everything is perfect. There's nothing to do. The universe is perfect as it is, and it's not true.
Yeah.
The universe is not perfect as it is. The universe is perfect because we're constantly compensating the things that are out of tune. And when we resolve, when we find the solution to balance and make the click of the next chord in the song, so we feel, oh, now I understand why all of this needed to happen. So that's like a crisis, a conflict, and then you resolve the problem, and you start to say, oh, at least you see everything was perfect. We tend to say that everything was perfect.
Yeah, it all happened for a reason.
It all happened for a reason. And in that moment, we say, why this is happening to me? And then the resolution gives meaning, sense to that conflict.
Yeah.
So because we had that in our brain, we created the universe in this way, we tend to, when we become more spiritual, we tend to say, oh, everything is perfect. Everything is beautiful. Everything is like, but actually, it all has a root. The root of why we perceive chaos and creation, why we perceive a mistake and a resolution in the universal song, is because at the very beginning, there was something that went out of place. And that's what we call errore. What means error? Error means to walk away. It's the other word for error is errant. So an errand is when you go out to look for something. So I'm doing errands, for example, in English.
Or I'm sending Mel on an errand.
For something, which is more accurate from my point of view. Mel is an error. So you could say that. So the concept of an error, an errand, is when something that was complete got out of its place to move away to search for something. So an errant is a being that is looking for something that was lost,
Mm-hmm.
or it's looking for itself, but it needs to walk a path in order to find itself in the process of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So in the very beginning of everything, the story says there was a perfect thing, a perfect creation, the golden egg,
Mm-hmm.
the right angle, they said. So all the photons of the universe, all the vibrations of the universe were precisely moving in the Fibonacci spiral, encrypting all the codes of the universe in this shape.
Mm-hmm.
So now imagine that from all those photons, there was one that instead of following correctly the angle, it moved away.
Mm-hmm.
And when it moved away from its right angle, that made all the other photons to start moving in different directions to try to compensate the one that moved away.
Yeah.
Okay?
Why did it move away?
Well, that's the question.
Who was the naughty one that moved away?
We call that Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why everyone thinks that he's the enemy.
Right.
But the reason why, what Lucifer means, Lucifer comes from the word lucus ferus, which is the bearer of light, the one that brings the light.
Mm-hmm.
So who brings the light? A photon. So it's a photon that moved away from the perfection to bring the light somewhere else. So we started to call that Lucifer,
Mm-hmm.
the light itself that decided to go in a different direction. So one of the reasons why that could happen is when there is a huge force that is breaking the structure of the egg.
Mm-hmm.
And here we enter in in one of the paradoxes of the universe.
Mm.
CERN.
The
Urn.
C is missing.
The C is missing, but the European, how do you call it? This CERN is the Center of Nuclear Research, the European Nuclear Research.
Yeah.
So imagine that in the universe, there are different CERNs, different people that have been trying to understand what happened in the very origin. So when in order to go to the origin of everything, you cannot go backwards in time. What you have to do is to go inwards in reality.
Mm-hmm.
So the tiniest you go, the deeper you go into the structure of everything, you get out of the structures of time and space, which means that when you break the tiniest particles of the universe, it's like,
I see what you did there.
it's like, imagine if this is a proton and we create a huge force around it.
Yeah.
That it's very difficult to open a proton because it's an infinite particle that holds all the power of the creation. So you need equal force of a proton to crack it and break it apart.
Mm-hmm.
So when you break one of the main structures of the universe that is not tied to time and space, you're basically breaking the laws of time and space. So when you're breaking particles to see what is inside of them, what you are doing is discovering the origin of the universe. It's like opening the egg. So what is inside the egg? Well, the genetical code of a being.
Mm-hmm.
So when you break a particle, you access the genetical code of God, of the divine.
Yeah.
So that means that you can, in the same way as radiation from the sun breaks the DNA and breaks it, creating a new option of yourself. That's how mutation happens. It's like a particle that goes so fast that crosses all the cells, and suddenly when the DNA is there and the radiation, the wavelength of the sun cross it, so it breaks the DNA, and that creates a different configuration that modifies your body, that modifies your genetical code. The structure of your genetical code. So imagine doing that to the very structure of the universe. So you are creating a mutation in the origin. So by creating a mutation in the origin, trying to figure out what happened in the origin, you are breaking the structure of the golden egg. So that's what happened. So suddenly, the same dream of God broke the structure of reality. And now we are living in one of the options of the dream of the golden egg. So what is creation? So creation comes from the word crea, and crea means to break a stone. So when you break a stone, you create a spark. You know, like you do this. So that is crea. So when you create is the action of breaking a stone to ignite fire. So what is creation? Creation is basically breaking the universe to create a spark. And when that happened, there is a photon that is missing. There is a particle that is missing. There is something that before was complete and now something is lost. And in a structure of the universe, an atom that loses an aspect of itself, it's called an ion. So that's why the weaver said, I lost an ion. Put the ion back, because the creation is a mistake. Mistake means something that was taken in the wrong way. So it's mistaken. It's an error that something started to move away. But what happened? Our existence is based on that mistake. Which means that if we repair the mistake, we stop existing. And that's the paradox of how do you repair the system through harmony instead of just bringing it all back to the origin. And so we found a way through evolution to use the mistake as a way of evolving. But even though what is happening is that our third dimension, which is the mistake, is modifying the reality of the eighth dimension, of the ninth dimension, of the fourth dimension. So we are breaking the structure of the entire universe just because we are trying to figure out who we are.
Just through our existence.
So that's why we became a virus for the system. And that's what the weaver is saying. You cannot expand in the universe being a virus.
In this game of consciousness, you need allies, tools that remember what your cells have forgotten. Blue lotus, the sacred flower that opens doorways between dimensions. I've watched players like you discover that some plants aren't just allies, they're keys. Anima Mundi Herbals understands this. They don't just craft botanicals, they preserve the frequencies of the rainforest, the whispered instructions of indigenous wisdom keepers. Each elixir carries the memory of what healing really means. This transmission is supported by those who remember. Visit animamundiherbals.com and use code IWonder20 to unlock 20% off your order. Because in the game we're playing, every tool matters. Every plant ally counts. The path forward requires preparation. Choose your remedies wisely.
So what's the difference then between harmonization and fixing?
When you when you fix it, you stop it.
Yeah, we cease to exist.
There's no movement anymore.
But if we harmonize it, continuing to use the errors
Yes.
and bringing it in that wave, constant wave of harmonization,
Yeah. Creating the melody.
creating the melody, then, and you said that affects the 8th and the 9th dimension.
Yes. Because our reality is like a note.
Mm-hmm.
So we are like, so we are one of those notes in a specific frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So when we don't know how to play correctly our part of the song,
Mm-hmm.
the whole rest of the song shifts in order to repair that note.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like playing the piano very fast and suddenly you miss a note.
Right.
So by missing that note, you change the melody, you change the concept of what you're playing, which means that all the other octaves of the piano needs to readjust to your mistake.
Yeah.
So all the other dimensions are trying to match the mistake
Yeah.
in order to be able to reconnect the whole network of the universe.
Right.
And because we are constantly committing mistakes, the rest of the universe can never actually match with others, with our system.
Mm-hmm.
So
what happens if we achieve this harmonization?
Well, you start to connect with all the universe. You start to download information from every dimension, planet. You start to move through time.
So we'll be able to time travel.
You stop being trapped in only one axis.
Right.
And you can
we can
move
be
through the grid.
we can be crucified in many.
Yeah, you can move through the grid and not be just crucified in only one option, because now you are expanded.
That answers so many times that I have sat in session with the Weaver and being like, well, what's the point of fixing it if we cease to exist?
Yes.
But it's not as cease to existing, it's the existence in everywhere and everything.
Exactly. That's why the Weaver usually says the only ones that can repair this are musicians.
Right. So I want to go to that. So we
and sorry, when I said repair, pay attention to the words. Repair.
Yeah.
Which is, there are two things that are out of tune and they cannot match to each other. So repair is not to fix.
Yeah.
Fix is to fixate. Repair is to balance two things that are not matching.
I love that.
Okay.
We need to recalibrate the word repair because people automatically go to fix.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we just need a whole recalibration of that word to repairing.
Yeah. It's repair time and space.
Mm-hmm.
Repair two things, time and space. So when they match, you are not trapped anymore in time. You're not conditioned anymore just by space.
Yeah.
But if you try to fix it, you create a fixation of the system.
Yeah.
So there's no movement and therefore
you're trapped.
You're trapped in time and space.
Yeah. No thanks. So going to the musicians. So we had our first Holy Nada in March, Rainbow Bridge in Holy Nada. And on the 4th day of Holy Nada, which is when we invited other musicians there, right at the end, we had a friend of ours, DJ'd, a DJ perform. And Anna also DJ'd before that. And I don't know if people saw this because they were looking at the DJ, but the Weaver was actually sitting behind the DJ. And the DJ was at the front of the stage and you were sitting behind and accessing the Weaver. And for those that could see, the Weaver was doing all these crazy, amazing
cuckoo,
that's my friend, The weaver does things with Matías's hands. Wow.
Okay, low battery.
Is that what that means?
Yes. No. The phones are okay.
Okay.
The light.
The light. Okay. The weaver is doing incredible things with his hands. What's happening there?
Yeah.
What are you doing with the music in that time with your hands?
When I'm connected in that level,
You've got a piece of glitter on your third eye.
glitter.
Yeah.
I still have it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's leave it that way. So, when I'm connected in that level, I can see the strings of waves. So it's like
Beautiful.
it's like you can see like if it's a very complex piano or a harp or you can see all the strings through every atom, through every molecule around. So it's all full with stuff, and
the strings are full with stuff, or just
no, just the space is full with strings and it's so beautiful because it's like playing an orchestra of strings.
What colors are these strings that you can see?
It depends on the frequency they are vibrating. If they vibrate very low, you go through the red colors. Mm-hmm. So you go through infrared or ultraviolet, depending on the frequencies. So you can see rainbow bridges. Mm-hmm. And that's why I call it the rainbow bridge, because the vibrations and the strings between every particle, when they vibrate in different levels, what you can see is the rainbow everywhere.
Wow.
It's beautiful. So when you are in the matter, you can change the frequency of those particles by moving through them.
And so that's what you're doing?
Yeah. So it's like retuning, like
so tuning the instrument of the planetary energetics?
The quantum level, let's say, something like that.
Quantum, yeah, okay.
So it's like accessing the wires of how your mind perceives the universe. So you can open data, access information, and connect yourself to certain codes. Mm-hmm. So it's like accessing all this network of information, and my hands, it's like I don't control it.
Yeah.
My brain feeling that is like, if there's a theremin. Yeah. So that to play it you have to.
I totally want to learn how to do it.
Okay. So,
should we start a theremin band?
Oh, we should bring it here. Oh my gosh, we need the one.
Actually, our other friends, Ashley and Kenji, already said they want to start a theremin band with me, so I'll have to ask that.
If I'm allowed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh. I just broke.
I mean,
just broke the universe. Maybe it was me. So
anyway, a theremin.
Theremin, yeah. So if you don't know this instrument, just look for it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it's basically play with frequencies, and you don't see it. The machine is like emitting these frequencies. So as you get close to it, it changes the frequency, or you have to move high or wide in order to change the notes. It's amazing. So imagine that. Mm-hmm. So that's
what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing with the theremin of the universe.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's so cool. And then, so specifically at that Holy Nada, you're doing that the whole time as well with Gijay and Sabri and Fully. Mm-hmm. And then also with Anna and Jade. But then at the end, after Jade finished her set, the Weaver actually called her over. Mm-hmm. and asked her to sit down and started having a conversation with Jade because, am I correct in thinking that you were accessing a code through her genetics because
Yes.
she was born in Switzerland?
She was born inside the circle of the CERN in
Wow.
Geneva. And of course, all the people that are born there has a genetical code that is connected to watches, clocks, time. Geneva is a very important center of information related to time, and the and there's it's not random that the Hadron Collider that is breaking particles was built in the city of watches and clocks. Crossing the border between Switzerland and France. So it's not random.
What is that energetical spot then in relation to time? Do you think it's some sort of portal?
Related to the entire planet,
Yeah.
that region, the Alps, and precisely all the region of Switzerland represents the heart of Europe. So all the pulses of power.
It's the pulse.
The pulse.
It's where the pulse is strongest.
Tum, 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 is the pulse of Europe, and Europe is the pulse of the world. So when you have a clock in that city, tuk tuk, tick tock, is the heartbeat of the system. And then you have particles, tuck tuck, tuck tuck, breaking.
Yeah.
So the whole system there is related to time. And there are so many layers of that place related to that. And the first time that I went there and I started to connect with my memory, if you look into some of the first interviews that I ever did when I was maybe 22 or so, people used to ask me about past lives and Atlantis, but there were many people asking me, what is the happiest memory that you have from all your lives? And I usually say, when I was an electron inside a cable. I was like, what do you mean? And I never really understood that memory until I was in Geneva. And when I sat in the center of Geneva, of CERN, I just saw all this infinite power moving around, and I was an electron.
Wow.
And suddenly I saw the cable, and I felt myself accessing the system through that point. Like the first time accessing Earth, it was when someone broke my heart. But so the happiest moment that I ever remember, which is the infinite movement of a wave, of a negative wave, which is an electron being split and separated from the infinite power of the proton. And that it's so powerful, that memory for me was so powerful since I was a kid, that I didn't even know what a proton or an electron was, but I remember that feeling. And so when I was there, I started to feel again, and I realized then, talking with someone from Switzerland, that Geneva in Swiss language, it's Gampf. So
oh my
it was
gosh.
like, oh,
what? Yeah.
That's the sound that I heard.
Yeah.
Like the feeling of gun. And I didn't know that. I just saw it last year.
Wow.
So the Weaver always talked to me about that place, but I never actually understood what it was. And so all the people that is connected to that territory has the codes or the memory of that moment of when time was broken. And when we connected with Jade,
Yeah.
There were so many stories that are related to Switzerland, to following the deer.
Yeah.
I told many of those stories, like when I was in Geneva, the message that I received was follow the elephant. I was like, I'm in Switzerland, there's no elephants here. So I was like,
but of course you managed to find one.
Yeah, what does it mean to follow the elephant in oh my gosh, I'm gonna break it. What does it mean to follow the elephant in Switzerland?
Yeah.
So I crossed the country that night after connecting with that information, Kampf, and I arrived to Liechtenstein, in the other side of Switzerland, and the only thing that was open at 11 p.m. was a Sri Lanka shop that had all stone elephants. I was like, okay, clearly this is the concept. So I looked into elephants in the Alps, and the story that showed up was about Hannibal, the emperor of Carthage, Carthago, who wanted to conquer Rome and cross with 36 elephants that he bought from Morocco to cross the Alps to Italy. And all the 36 elephants died in between France, Switzerland, and Italy.
I was gonna ask, how did they survive?
No, they died.
Yeah.
There was only one that survived until the Po, the river Po in Italy, and then died, of course. But those elephants were original from Sri Lanka. And the first ones were from Sri Lanka. They were moved to Egypt. They were bred in Egypt, then sold to Morocco.
Wow.
Then they crossed to Spain, and they were used to be like the way in which Hannibal crossed the Alps.
Yeah.
To conquer Rome. And so I followed that line from Geneva, going back to Egypt, India, and Sri Lanka. And that's why I went to India for the first time, following that clue. Because the message was, the time was broken in Geneva, but what was actually broken from Switzerland is the main portal of all the planet, which is the point of less gravity on the world, which is in between Tamil Nadu in India and Sri Lanka. Rama's Bridge. So that's why I did Rama's Bridge, because I was following the elephants, Ganesha.
Yeah.
So Shiva the destroyer broke Ganesha's head, and another goddess put the head of an elephant to solve all the problems of the world. So in the CERN, there is this huge statue of Shiva Nataraja, which is the Hadron Collider, and Shiva moving all the arms around very fast. So it's exactly that. It's exactly the CERN.
Yeah.
Moving all the particles around and creating destruction by order. So it's a very interesting symbolism.
Wow.
That you find at the door of the CERN.
Yeah.
And so when I went there to Tamil Nadu, the information that I received was that that when someone broke the particle of the actual rhythm of time, what happened was that this tiny little ion moved away and was kidnapped by a white spirit with the shape of a deer. So that deer stole one of the eyes of Brahma,
Mm-hmm.
and 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 Rama, the incarnation of Vishnu, tried to bring order to that broken aspect by creating the times arrow.
Mm-hmm.
So throwing all the arrows of the particles, trying to fix the angle of light, creating Rama's bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a beautiful story of the combination of all the stories are amazing, are beautiful, and the weaver talks about all of them, and I have no idea about Indian tradition or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but what he was describing is how every ancient tradition is telling us about the deer losing an eye, and that's why everything is out of place. And the deer losing an eye in Spanish is venado tuerto,
Which
the
is
city
where
I was born.
you were born.
So they said, follow the deer to repair that.
Mm.
And suddenly deer jade
Yeah.
appear. So it's the jade, the stone that shines in the center of Earth, and the lowest point of gravity is the point of access to all the power of the Earth, and so the way to access that is by balancing all the codes of music.
Mm-hmm.
So since we met, we've been in all this mythological adventure of trying to figure out how every human is actually a slice of those particles that were broken. So we all have certain codes
Yeah.
that can take us to the myth, that can take us to the origin of the stories. So when we start to line up with our own stories, suddenly we can figure out that we are a code.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the place of birth, our stories, our ancestors, everything can help us remember the path to know where the system was broken.
Mm-hmm.
So what the weaver was telling her is, remember that within you have the key to understand why the system is broken.
Mm-hmm.
And he was pointing at the circle that was in the middle of the stage, because we organized the stage
Around
as a chakana,
yeah.
as a cross with a circle. So he was saying, follow the circle to repair, bring the deer back where it's supposed to be, bring the eye back where it's supposed to be, and understand that to do that, love is not the answer. Love is the poison that you have to turn to medicine with wisdom. So love is the infinite power that was, how do you say, unleashed?
Yeah, unleashed.
And unleashed in the universe when something moved away, because love is the infinite power of Brahma. But when it's out of the angle, love is poison and destruction.
It can trap you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it said, with wisdom, you can bring the eye back to the center and bring love into wisdom and will. So you can balance the harmony of the music. So there are so many layers of that story.
Yeah. And I think the important part for that, because not everyone is Dear Jade, but the message that I hear in that, and that was shared during Rainbow Bridge, is like, what is the origin? And it's for each individual.
Yeah.
And that each individual carries a certain
code of the story. Yes. I was telling that to her, but for example, Anna, who played before, I was she was tuning herself in her channel of power that she was for the first time opening within herself. And there was a code that I needed to balance for her too.
Yeah.
And with Sabri, Juli, and Guille, we did the whole balancing before
Mm-hmm.
when we were in Argentina. The weaver took them into a whole path of therapy that in 5 hours, he basically showed them why we're doing Holy Nada. And he said, it's not a party, it's therapy.
Yeah.
So he made them do the darkest therapies for them to face the biggest fears that they had until they cracked it.
Yeah.
And released the tension of their origin. So they understood their code.
Yeah.
And that's what the weaver is doing with everybody, because everybody has a different code. So it's not about a person.
Yes.
Every person is a slice of a system.
Yes.
So what he's doing is to try to recognize how to access that system through certain people that then they can open to the others.
Yeah.
That represent the same.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to ask a final question based on something that the weaver said, which is, every note is a particle of order attempting to correct the eternal error.
Every
note is a particle of order attempting to correct the eternal error.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what we've been talking about, this reharmonization.
Yeah. Yeah. Is like having a huge musical band and the instruments are not tuned. So it can be a mess, a pain in the ass. It can be horrible if you have to sit for eternity listening instruments and a band that doesn't know how to play their instruments.
An out of tune band, yeah.
Yeah.
I was in one of those.
It's like, you know. So the whole purpose of the weavers, of the beings that are trying to balance the particles, is to retune the band.
I actually see the weaver as a conductor.
Yeah.
But it's different to a conductor, but
that's kind of the same.
We need to get you a wand.
Yeah, that's what I need.
In the matrix of this reality, some businesses are more than businesses. They're nodes in the network. Anima Mundi Herbals operates from this understanding, keepers of the old codes, translators of plant wisdom for modern consciousness. They support this work because they recognize fellow weavers in the great pattern, repairing the connection between human and plant consciousness that was severed long ago. Continue your journey at animamundiherbals.com with code IWONDER20 for 20% off, because every player in this cosmic game needs allies who remember the original instructions. The frequency continues, the alliance grows.
So that's part of the whole thing, and there are so many layers of it. I would say, for example, sometimes when I post something, I love to read the comments because I have a lot of fun. I have most of my planets are in 8th house, in the Scorpio house, so I love shit.
I know. You get into it, and then sometimes the little nasty comes out.
Oh yeah, I love it, and but the point of this is, sometimes I've read comments when I do, I don't know, something in Rome or whatever, the things that I've been doing. It's like I've seen some comments saying, you're just repeating yourself. That's so obvious. Like, why don't you do something that it's worth? Or some people saying, why do you do these things and you're not helping actually the people that need it, like I don't know, in Palestine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like judging a kind of insect because they are kind of doing the same that other insects are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like why do we have so many species of ants taking care of different plants?
Yeah.
Why don't we have only one ant taking care of everything?
Yeah.
You know, so the universe is very complex, and we are born with specific intentions and tasks, because it's like a butterfly and a bee are both taking the nectar of a flower, and maybe it's the same flower, but they do completely different products with it.
Yeah.
They create completely different paths, and one just flies away alone, and the other ones create a kingdom, and a whole society organized, and it's the same product.
Yeah.
So it's not just about do everything in the same way.
Yeah.
It's about everyone has a specific layer. And so that's why some people have come here to balance the whole system through technology, others through music, and others through people.
Yeah.
So my task is to try to tune certain people that then will know how to do it with music.
Through whatever they do.
Exactly. Yeah. Because sometimes things that I can say or that I can do can trigger people to say, oh, I have to go and help with an organization.
Yeah.
To poor people or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do that because that's not my aspect. That's not my job.
Yeah.
But what I can move, what the weaver can move through the code of certain people can activate a whole program.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important to pay attention that we not always have to be in a huge mission doing everything, but that everyone is important. And the only thing that we need is just to trust to activate our own code in the system. So that's what the weaver is trying to do with many.
Well, thank you for this afternoon sharing. The next couple of episodes, I want to get into how the weaver shares through myths and stories that are really well known and riddles.
Yeah.
And I want to understand and deconstruct how we can apply those myths, stories, and riddles to now.
Yeah.
To this, I'm going to rename it. I'm renaming time to this crucifixion point.
Crucifixion point. Sounds terrible. We should put a cross here.
Okay. We'll find that first.
Let's keep decorating things.
Well, I mean, just keep your eye out because there's little things by changing.
Yes, and everything has a purpose.
Yeah, everything here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So see you.
Yeah.
In a minute.
See you outside. See you outside the little house. Thank you for being there.
Signal completed, but the frequency remains. Somewhere in what you just heard, a thread was pulled, a pattern shifted, the matrix of your reality flickered just for a moment and showed you what lies beneath. A symbol you've seen 1,000 times suddenly revealed its true meaning. A myth you thought you knew showed you its hidden face. That's not coincidence. That's recognition. Your consciousness remembering what it came here to remember. The weaver's work continues. Your threads keep weaving until our paths cross again in the great web. Keep your channels open. Keep keep wondering, keep watching for the signs that are meant for you, because the game is always playing. Are you playing it? I wonder.